Right on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is the Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. I'm just entitling this piece, Canadian Government TV. I recently accidentally was watching CPAC. For those of you who don't know what CPAC is outside Canada, it's a version of C-SPAN. I was shocked to listen to some advisor jabbering away about carbon tax, climate change, etc., etc. It was some committee, I don't know what, and I couldn't find any reference to it the next day when I went to look for it. It sounded more to me like a party political broadcast on behalf of the Liberal Communists of Canada. But even more shocking than that was that this expert, in his own mind, was talking about how carbon tax and all the other BS was, according to him and his study, making very little difference to any province's economy, which is absolute BS. Now at this point, I must point out I've done a very detailed podcast on this subject in the past, and all I have to say is that this comment from this so-called expert is complete and utter garbage. And these MPs asking these questions were just giving it lip service. They've done no investigation, they've been bought and sold. And it doesn't matter which flavour they are, Labour, Liberal, Conservative, NDP, Spot, whatever they are, they're all the same. They don't represent Canadians at all. And the kids in school are being brainwashed to this stuff, I have to tell you. Now this garbage, I can prove, this can be highlighted further by a question posed by an MP, and I think he was from Ontario, who told this expert that he had farmers come to see him and tell him that the increased costs would most likely mean that they would probably have to move their operation to the United States. This expert still believed that carbon dioxide tax would have little or no effect on Canada's overall economy. Now, I have to say this. I don't believe these experts are in fact independent, and further, more of them are from university studies, and they're undoubtedly skewed to fit the government policy of the day, as governments are very rarely leaning right, mostly leaning left. There are very few independent surveys done. On top of this, the issue continues to be a complete fake industry growing up promoting this unproven theory, and I will continue to say that, and no one will ever shut me up, Mr. Trudeau, driven by an ideology that has a far darker intention, that being of a new world order and governance whose birthplace can be traced back to the UN, Agenda 21 and now Agenda 2030. Please be under no misapprehension. It is the intention of Liberal Communist Party of Canada to use an expression that should be familiar to you all by now, to fundamentally transform Canada by changing Canada's cultural beliefs and ethnic mix. To do this is not an accident. Do you think this is a coincidence that they are passing a new law to limit your free speech right now? And that's in November. This is only the beginning. They will gerrymander their constituencies in their favour, to take control and remain in control while they complete their socialist agenda. And I ask you, at what cost? You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.